accordingly.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back. Chair Ison, would you please convene the Committee on Campus Planning, Buildings, and Grounds?
Thank you, Chair Day. Will the Committee on Campus Planning, Buildings, and Grounds please change its name? I mean, come to order. We have 14 requests for public comment. Each speaker will have 2 minutes to address the board. I'm going to call you in groups of 5. So will the first group of 5 please come to the microphone as your name is called? Group 1, Fred Pierce, Steve Doyle, Chris Thomas, Marcy Bober, and Steve Welter.
Well, good afternoon, and thanks for the opportunity to be here today. Hi, I'm Fred Pierce. Some of you may know me from my role as past president of San Diego State's Alumni Association. I'm also a past president of the CSU Alumni Council, and I served on this board of trustees for 6 years in the late 90s and the early 2000s. But that's not what I'm here to speak about today. I'm here to speak about SDSU West, which is on your agenda of this committee here, and in support of this most critical project for San Diego State University. And I'm a member of the Friends of SDSU, which is the committee that put this initiative together, gathered the signatures, and put it in front of the voters. And there's also some other very familiar names who are friends of SDSU as well. Former trustees Linda Lang, former trustee Ralph Pescara, and former SDSU presidents Tom Day, Steve Weber, and Elliot Hirschman, amongst others. That we formed this to champion what's really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for San Diego State to capture 132 acres of land to help it deliver on its promise for the future. For the San Diego region to grow, San Diego State University needs to be an integral part of that, and we're landlocked and are not able to grow without this most critical land that's just a couple trolley stops away from the university. I know the work that you do for higher education is so critical, and it's so critical to us in the San Diego region. So I urge you to support SDSU West, which facilitates the sale of the former Qualcomm Stadium site to the university for a Mission Valley campus in San Diego. I urge your approval of the motion to endorse this initiative here this afternoon. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Steve Doyle. I am one of the proponents for the San Diego State University West Campus Research Center Stadium and River Park Initiative. We created this initiative to provide San Diego State with an opportunity to expand beyond its current landlocked Mesa home. Our steering committee includes notable alumni, university supporters, leading business and philanthropic citizens from San Diego. Our campaign goal is to educate the voters of San Diego on the value provided by higher education, research, and development. The SDSU West initiative is simple. It says, we, the voters of San Diego, want the city and San Diego State to negotiate the sale of the stadium property to San Diego State at fair market value, and to provide for the opportunity for a new campus expansion, new athletic stadium, a river park, and complementary land uses through an open and public, transparent planning and environmental process. The SDSU initiative is the only initiative on the November ballot that will offer these opportunities. SDSU West is right for San Diego, it's right for the environment, and it is right for SDSU. We urge your endorsement. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, trustees. My name is Chris Thomas. I'm the president of Associated Students at San Diego State. I'm here today to express my support for SDSU's vision to expand the campus to the stadium site in Mission Valley. Since last year, the university has been engaging the campus community to gain insight into the opportunities that could be realized if we were able to purchase the property. To give you all perspective, this past fall, SDSU has had over 94,000 applications for undergraduates alone. SDSU Mission Valley would provide the university with the space needed to accommodate more students in a location that is close to our current campus. Currently, the campus has only enough housing for freshmen and sophomores. The housing envisioned in the Mission Valley property would allow for our upper division and graduate students to live in a location that's only 3 trolley stops away from our current location. In San Diego's tight housing market, this accessible housing would be a welcome addition for students. Finally, I appreciate your university's dedication and commitment that the development of this property will not rely on any student tuition or divert funding from our academic programs or other priorities on the main campus. Thank you for your consideration today, and go Aztecs.
Good afternoon. I'm Marcy Bober Michelle, and this will be my third year chairing SDSU's University Senate. Prior to that, I served for 2 years as Senate Secretary. Given SDSU's dedication to shared governance, it's no surprise that the Senate has been actively engaged in the campaign to explain the Mission Valley West initiatives to the campus community. I'm part of a team that includes administrators, faculty, staff, and members of our marketing and communications unit. Many of us regularly attend meetings focused on site plan development, site financing, and outreach to City of San Diego residents and government officials. Members of that team routinely discuss the initiative with department chairs and school directors, as well as college deans and associate deans. And since the beginning of summer, we've been holding open forums to which all campus community members are invited. In my capacity as Senate Chair, I ensure that the initiative's benefits to students and faculty are routinely shared with both the Senate Executive Committee and the Senate. That said, we also work to allay unwarranted concerns, for example, that the expansion might diminish resources available to the main campus. Many with whom we've spoken simply hadn't recognized the site's potential to generate funds that can address long-standing issues with infrastructure and classroom space. By mid-August, we'll have directly discussed the initiative with more than 300 people, and that number will grow considerably once faculty return to campus on August 22nd. Well-planned outreach allows us to touch on the issues of primary importance to the campus, and they are 4 bullets. Enhanced research and instructional opportunities that public-private partnerships provide. Students in particular will see expanded access to fieldwork and clinical experiences, internships and mentorships, and guest speakers from the disciplines in which they plan to earn their degrees. Expansion of the many arts and culture events we now offer, more direct and focused outreach to the community via partnerships focused on health, education, urban planning, and so much more, and finally, access to housing for faculty, staff, and graduate and upper division students. Finally, we're directly collecting feedback via a feedback form, and those comments, though I can't share them now due to time, organized around 5 different themes. Advocate for sustainability, promote internationalism and globalism, collaborate, collaborate, collaborate. Offer unique student and faculty learning and research opportunities, and finally contribute to the community. Thank you.
My name is Steve Welter. I'm Vice President for Research and Graduate Dean for San Diego State University. I think this represents an amazing opportunity for the campus, and in particular for our students and our faculty, as we try to build partnerships between the private sector and the campus. And specifically, I think it provides our students with a very unique opportunity to enhance their experiential learning opportunities, their internships, their ability to work in real-world teams with companies, and to forge the relationship between their educational background and solving real-world problems. I think our students will be able to build a better resume and ultimately see a stronger future as they continue to contribute to the San Diego economy. Secondly, it provides a unique opportunity for our faculty to engage in research partnerships with private sector. It allows them to take their findings, to translate them more effectively, to have access to more cutting-edge facilities that are sometimes located in the private sector, and to basically build a stronger footprint, intellectual footprint for the campus within our community and within California. I also think it speaks directly to the entrepreneurial spirit that our campus has, the ability to take our students into an incubator style format, to be able to work with real companies, and to be able to help drive the economic engine for the San Diego region through innovation and discovery. And finally, the last point was there are opportunities for graduate student and faculty housing. I think Chris Thomas, our president, did a great job of sort of discussing that. But the other thing I would say, though, is having housing co-located with the research and facilities on campus and with the private sector allows us to build an intellectual commons, an academic community that I think will be very unique within California and certainly unique within our system. Thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you. The next group is Ben Clay, Chimize Eberikwe, Jordan Fine, Mark Anthony Alcala, and Letitia Strickland.
Mr. Chairman, members of the trustees, I'm Ben Clay. I reside in San Diego, California. I am chair of the San Diego River Conservancy, a state agency. Let me give you a little history. About 8 or 9 years ago, President Steve Weber and the San Diego River Conservancy signed an MOU to develop and work together on all issues relating to the San Diego River. We've worked on water quality measurements. We've worked on restoration of stream beds within the adjacent to the university campus, reducing the flooding to the university and saving a bunch of money. We've worked with the university on the start of the Adobe Falls questions. A good fire took care of some of our problems, but we still have issues there. And San Diego State University is doing a seminal study for the San Diego River Conservancy on pathogens in the San Diego River, where they're coming from, how much, and all the rest of the issues that we don't know an awful lot about. So I would also like to inform you that we really appreciate, on the behalf of the River Conservancy, San Diego State's commitment to the river park as an integral part of their development plan. That's key. The integration of the bicycle trails, the hiking trails, and the rest of the issues that in their plan, in accordance with the plans and the processes that we have with the San Diego River. They've done a wonderful job of it. The San Diego State Mission Valley site will give us an opportunity, and this is, as I look out over the horizon, to develop a river contact workstation there to deal with all things urban rivers, not only just at San Diego, Tijuana River, and Northern California. The university has been a great partner with us. We appreciate it, respect it. We look forward to what they're doing going forth with their plans, and we hope that the public of San Diego will vote in support of this. And with that, be happy to answer any questions, and thank you.
Good afternoon, Board of Trustees. My name is Shamiz Debarekwe. I'm a graduating senior majoring in business finance at San Diego State University. As former Associate Students President, I want to recognize the university's commitment to providing students with a high-quality educations and opportunities for growth beyond the classroom. I've seen my classmates achieve success because of involvement such as things like research, entrepreneurship programs, and internships, opportunities that will be further expanded by development like the one we proposed for Mission Valley. But I've also seen and experienced my classmates see the struggle to find housing near campus, which this plan will help to provide a solution for. I can say from personal experience that living on or near campus has been important to my success as a student. To have additional housing in the campus environment is something that is exciting to me and my fellow students. Housing on a trolley line just a few stops away from the main campus is especially welcome, as many of our students no longer rely on their own methods of transportation. I believe SDSU's proposal for Mission Valley is critical for the university's future, and I want to thank you on behalf of San Diego State for your consideration of this item, which will help make the university, this plan will help the university make this plan a reality. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jordan Fine. I'm a lead research analyst with Unite Here Local 11, which is the union that represents 30,000 workers in hotels, restaurants, airports, sports arenas, and convention centers in Southern California and Phoenix. We have many members in Northridge, and we're a stakeholder in the proposed CSU Northridge Hotel and Restaurant project. We engage in the CEQA process to reduce environmental impacts in order to ensure the project will benefit the community. This project is currently proposed falls short. Local 11 has analyzed the mitigated negative declaration prepared for this project and found that the M&D's own estimates demonstrate there are potentially significant greenhouse gas impacts requiring the preparation of a full environmental impact report. The California Air Resource Board produced a November 2017 CARB scoping plan stating it's guided by the 2030 target of 40% emissions reductions below 1990 levels. Because the project's anticipated to be complete and operational in October 2020, merits the use of a post-2020 standard for greenhouse gas impacts, as the vast majority of the project's operational life will occur after 2020. Furthermore, even if the use of 2020 targets were appropriate, the M&D incorrectly analyzes the project's greenhouse gas impacts using the South Coast Air Quality Management District's 2020 threshold for mixed-use projects rather than the limit for commercial projects and which project emissions would exceed. CSU's response to Local 11's comments on the M&D states that it's quote, not appropriate to singularly classify hotel uses as a commercial use, as unlike traditional commercial uses that have standard business hours, hotels include a residential-like component with overnight occupancy. Every hotel worker here today understands the difference between a hotel and their home, and it surprises me that CSU fails to do so. In summary, Local 11 requests that a full EIR be prepared, and we provided comments on the M&D to board members. Thanks.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Mark Anthony Alcala. I live in Visalia, California since 1989 to present, and I am a hotel worker. I work at the Former Large Hotel in the Valley, Studio City, since 1988 to present. And I am very, I am a very proud member, of the union. I've been a union member since 1988 too. And I have two daughters, and for me, having a union standard means a lot to me, because that means, I can have peace of mind to provide, month to month, the money, to pay, my daughter's school utilities, and there is when I heard that, the season, property will build a new hotel, and then they are not committing to provide, a union standard to the workers after the project is finalized, means a lot to me. That means that there is no guarantee that the jobs created at the proposed hotel and restaurant will be a family sustaining jobs as proposed to prevent poverty jobs. There is no guarantee that the employees will prioritize hiring workers from the no-risk community or from groups traditionally unrepresented in the hospitality industry, like LGBTQ workers, African American workers, and there is no guarantee that the women workers will have access to panic buttons or other means to protect themselves against sexual harassment. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Letitia Strickland, and I have attended CSU Northridge for many years, earning a bachelor's in sociology, a master's in public administration, and I'm currently in the middle of my master's in social work. As you all know, CSU was forced to increase tuition for myself and other students in 2017. This year, CSU proposed further tuition increases, but decided against them in part due to protests. I care about CSUN's funding because it impacts me and the tuition I pay. Therefore, I support any project that could support CSUN, including the proposed hotel and restaurant. However, I have concerns about the track record of Juniper Realty, the proposed developer of the CSUN Hotel and Restaurant. CSUN would have a financial interest in the proposed hotel and a restaurant through a contemplated ground lease, and therefore must ensure the developer has a history of meeting deadlines and mitigating any risks associated with hotel and restaurant operations. However, Juniper Realty has already missed deadlines. At the CSUN University Corporation Board of Directors meeting on March 5, 2018, TUC Executive Director said that late last week there was a very serious conversation with Juniper that they need to get back on track with their schedule of performance, or TUC will consider them out of compliance with the agreement. Harvey Bookstein stated that developers' equity situation has long been his concern, and that TUC should not allow the process to drag out much longer. This isn't the first project where Juniper Realty has missed deadlines. Juniper partnered with Clark Street Development to redevelop the former Colt building in the Chicago suburb of Oak Park, Illinois. The project faced 6 years of delay, and in March 2015, Clark Street Development dropped Juniper Realty and brought on Lennar multifamily communities without specifying the reason for Juniper's departure. As a CSUN student, I'm very concerned about Juniper Realty's ability to deliver this project without missing further deadlines. Thank you.
Thank you. Next group, Roy Inang, Asi Leon Wood, Don Larson, and Chris Sales.
Hi, everyone. My name is Roy, and I'm a board member at my troop, Unitarian Universalist Church in Pasadena, and I'm also a proud CSUN alumni. I graduated in 2005 with a bachelor's in economics. I was informed about the CSUN Hotel and Restaurant project And I believe that currently it does not work for the people of Los Angeles and Northridge in particular. One of the troubling conversations that I usually have with people within my church and just in general in the community is the concerns that they face on a daily basis as the cost of everything is rising. So the CSUN Hotel and Restaurant could potentially provide a positive impact on the Northridge community, but only if you truly engage with the people of the community, listen to their concerns and thoughts in order to make improvements on these projects. So prior to starting projects such as these, please make sure that standards are set to ensure that these are well-paying jobs and that they are jobs that are created in order for people to sustain their family, and also ensure that people within the community are prioritized for employment. People within the community and projects such as these, you should definitely move hand in hand together and gain all the benefits together, but only if you work together and truly listen to each other and resolve all these differences. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Chris Sales. I'm a resident of Northridge. Since 1961, I am speaking in favor of the CSUN Hotel project. I chair the Northridge Vision 2025 group, which is the 3 local neighborhood councils, CD12, LA City CD12 district, the Northridge Chamber of Commerce, the local beautification group, Northridge Beautification Foundation, and CSUN. Just a couple of concepts on that. First of all, there's a really great need for a hotel in our area. We essentially are in the sort of donut hole for quality hotel. It would provide a great opportunity for the university as well as the local inhabitants. So we have the opportunity for when candidates are brought to campus, or when we have graduation with students and their families, or also our fabulous Performing Arts Center when groups come to perform there. So we really need that. We also have a really positive environmental impact in being a hotel. Many of the people who have to come to university for various reasons have to stay quite a distance away. So I think we're really ahead of the game with that. I also want to share that with my group, which is a large umbrella organization with most of the opinion makers in the greater Northridge area. The university has been very transparent from the very beginning, brainstorming through focus groups, through where we currently are with the university. They have been sharing with us everywhere along the way, so we feel that we've always been part of the process since the very beginning. So I would really encourage you to support the project and to vote in favor of it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Don Larson. I'm a 4th generation in Northridge. My great-grandparents were founders of Northridge. I've been on the campus since it was started in 1958, and I was that big in short pants, which I'm still wearing. We're here to support the hotel project. We think it's a great thing for the community. The university has done a great job under President Harrison and the executive staff in reaching out to the community with a number of large meetings that they spoke to all the concerns we've had and have mitigated all of them. There's always a few people against everything. You can't stop that part. But in fact, from my point of view, I got a good 90-95% of the community itself, the neighborhood, that wants the hotel to be there. We want it there because it's a beautiful structure. It's in the middle of our orange grove next to the entertainment center, and we think it will stop some of the traffic we have. We think some of the traffic that's dedicated for people going back and forth to Woodland Hills, Westwood, Burbank, they're going to stay at our school now and be in our campus and walk the campus with us. Good for business in the neighborhood, good for our neighborhood, good for the environment as far as we're concerned, and we think it's a beautiful thing, and we want your support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't believe in the 6 years I've been on this board, I've seen 14 public speakers in a row hew so closely to their time limits. I applaud you. I thank you for your thoughtfulness and your pithiness, and I'm going to ask the oral communications professors to use this segment in their class as a demonstration of how it can be done. Thank you. So now it's time for the committee to consider today's consent agenda. We have 3 items on the consent agenda. Does any committee member wish to remove any item from the consent agenda for further discussion?
Motion on the consent agenda as presented.
You're moving to not remove. I didn't even hear that. Who is that? Who made the motion?
I made the motion
Thank you,
for the
John.
consent calendar to be approved as
Very
presented.
good. Second was here. All in favor?
Madam President,
Opposed? Abstentions?
I had a question on, once the motion was formed.
About the consent agenda?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'll recognize the chair to ask a
So
question
just
about
to
the
be clear,
consent agenda.
the Northridge project is on the consent agenda, correct?
It is.
So yes. Yes. So I just wanted to ask a question of staff before we take a motion on that.
All right, go ahead.
So just our legal counsel, we've heard public testimony about potential flaws in the environmental document. Just want to make sure for the record that you've addressed those publicly and the board has received your correspondence on those issues. And then I just have one further comment after that.
Yes, we have, and I think it's probably appropriate to have Vice Ann Juan comment on that because I believe a responsive letter was circulated during the day today to address all the issues raised.
That's correct, Andy and Chairman Day. The letter we received yesterday from Unite Here was a response was prepared, so that has been emailed to you. Both their letter and your letter has been, and the letter that Rincon, our technical experts, has prepared has been sent to Unite Here and also this board. So we believe we've addressed the concerns, even though they were late comments, we did address them. And so General Counsel felt it would still be all right to be on consent if the board so selected.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate that, Chair. I just wanted to raise that as a comment, simply because I want to thank the members of the public for coming. I spoke to Jordan and passed the letter along to the Chancellor. I think this is a situation of a little bit of a cart before the horse, more chicken and an egg. What's before us today is a revision to the master plan for the campus, not the hotel development, not the hotel management agreement, and not the details of whatever that management agreement might be. So I think all of us can agree that we would like to see a hotel on this campus and all the benefits that it will bring to the campus and the community and the local workforce. But we can't get there until we adopt this master plan revision. So it's different than what's before us is strictly the environmental documents and the revision to that. So I want to make sure that was clear for the record. Thank you.
Thank you for that clarifying comment. All right, the consent agenda has been approved. We have 2 items on today's discussion agenda. Item 4 is an action item requesting a master plan revision with enrollment ceiling increase for Cal Maritime Academy. The item will be presented by Steve Relier, President Tom Cropper, and Vice Ann Juan. Steve, will you please begin?
Thank you, Chair Eisen. This item requests certification of the final environmental impact report and approval of Cal Maritime's campus master plan for 2018, the first major master plan revision for the campus since 2002. The plan, which President Cropper and Assistant Vice Chancellor Vice Ann Juan will describe, is consistent with Cal Maritime's mission to train, educate, and develop graduates for positions in the global maritime profession. I will now turn the presentation over to President Cropper. President Cropper.
Thank you, Steve. Chair Eisen and members of the Board of Trustees, I'm pleased to present Cal Maritime's updated long-term development plan. This plan represents the consensus of the Cal Maritime community and our unified vision for reinventing the campus to meet 21st century demands through the year 2032. Looking forward, we're preparing our physical infrastructure to meet greater enrollment demand while addressing technology disruptions and opportunities in maritime education. These include autonomous shipping, big data and logistics, and cybersecurity for maritime infrastructure. Our updated academic master plan, created in tandem with the new physical master plan, articulates Cal Maritime's major academic and student initiatives through the year 2032, including enrollment increases, new academic departments and programs, student success initiatives, and a 3-school academic structure with a School of Engineering, a School of Letters and Science, and a School of Marine Transportation and Logistics Management. Campus facilities and infrastructure must keep pace with these anticipated strategic moves, and our new plan outlines the vision and physical implications for Cal Maritime's next phase of growth. Both the physical master plan and the related environmental impact report were developed in close partnership with our internal campus community, our regional and industry partners, and the City of Vallejo. Our new plan commits to a purposeful reinvention of our campus design with strategic infill and replacement of outdated and obsolete academic and residential facilities, creation of a pedestrian-only campus core, and improved engagement of our waterfront. These initiatives support the fundamental purpose of the new physical master plan, which advances the continued intentional creation of a distinctive, relevant campus that remains rooted in our rich history, while recognizing and responding to enrollment growth, changes in pedagogy, the evolving landscape of the total student experience, enduring support for faculty teaching and scholarship, and increasing demand for skill specialization. Thank you for considering our plans for approval. I'll now turn the presentation over to Vice San Juan.
Thank you, President Cropper. This aerial view has the proposed physical master plan for Cal Maritime. The 92-acre campus is bordered on the southern end by the Carquinez Strait, residential neighborhoods to the west, and Interstate 80 to the east. The proposed master plan will accommodate 2,200 FTE at full build-out, which is double their current enrollment. The academic facilities and administrative facilities include classrooms, labs, library space, along with the renovation and expansion of existing facilities such as Mayo Hall and Riza Auditorium. The addition or replacement of 1,530 student housing beds will allow the campus to meet its goal of serving 80% of the students on campus. That's a high percent. A final environmental impact report has been prepared to analyze the environmental effects of the proposed master plan. The FEIR is a program EIR under CEQA guidelines with near-term projects identified. Those near-term projects in Phase 1 include, for example, Mayo Hall and the lower residence hall replacement building. The FEIR also determined that the master plan in Phases 2 and 3, which is projected to occur between 2023 and 2032, would result in a significant and unavoidable impact to cultural resources, which in this instance is related to the demolition of buildings. They're not, the buildings, some are low-rise, so one-story buildings, so the campus doesn't feel that they're particularly historically significant, but based on their age, it's determined with CEQA that since they're 50 years or older, that we have to identify it as a significant impact. The trustees are thus requested to adopt a statement of overriding consideration, which indicates that the benefits of the campus master plan outweigh this impact to cultural resources. Staff recommends approval of the master plan. Chair Eisen, that concludes our presentation.
Well, thank you, all three of you, for the presentation. I, for one, am thrilled to hear that at a certain age you become a cultural resource. Now, any questions or comments from the rest of the board regarding this proposed revision to the master plan? Anyone? Well, I'm excited about the fact that Cal Maritime Academy is going to double in size and be providing these amazing services to twice as many students, and I wish you luck. I don't know who of us will be around in 2032, but good luck to you who are going to be around. All right, may I have a motion then with respect to the action item? Second. Any further comment? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? All right, we're now on to item 5, which is an action item requesting endorsement of the City of San Diego ballot initiative, SDSU West Campus Research Center, Stadium, and River Park Initiative. The item will be presented by Steve Relier, President Adela De La Torre, and Vice San Juan.
Madam
Steve,
Chair.
again, will you?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
could I just make a brief comment? I am a signator, along with Steve Doyle, on the initiative petition. A donor to the campaign, a member of the steering committee, and actively involved in this. I've consulted with the general counsel, and while we don't think there's an actual conflict of interest, I will abstain from voting or participating in the discussion because of an appearance of a conflict.
Thank you so much, Trustee McGrory. Your comment is appreciated. All right, Steve?
Thank you, Chair Eisen. In November of 2017, we brought forward an information item related to the potential expansion of San Diego State University as a result of the City of San Diego's desire to no longer own and operate the stadium that is located in Mission Valley. At the time, signatures were being gathered in order to qualify a ballot initiative that would enable the city to sell the property to the university for a mixed-use development. We now report that the initiative has qualified for the City of San Diego November 2018 ballot, and this agenda item requests that the board endorse the ballot initiative, allowing the city to negotiate the sale of approximately 132 acres of real property to the university. Should the initiative pass, and the campus and the city agree to negotiate terms of purchase, an action item for real property acquisition will be brought back to the board for its consideration. While the board does not typically take a position on ballot initiatives in general, from time to time, opportunities come forward to the board to expand the campus footprint, and in this case, it just so happens that that route is through this ballot initiative. Therefore, it was determined to bring this item forward to the board for its consideration. President Adela de la Torre will next provide additional background on the initiative. President de la Torre.
Thank you, Steve. I'm honored and humbled and excited to be here today to offer my perspective on why expanding San Diego State University to Mission Valley is a sound investment for the university and CSU. San Diego State University has long been interested in purchasing this Mission Valley property, which is just 3 trolley stops from our main campus. The additional land would provide SDSU with a much-needed space and flexibility to prepare the workforce of the future. The impressive global citizens, our compassionate leaders, and our ethical innovators who can impact San Diego community and the world at large. The purchase would give us the ability to grow our research and innovation programs and to provide relevant experiences for students to engage in world-class educational and collaborative opportunity with San Diego's growing industries like biotech, cybersecurity, genomics, and many others. Also, we would be able to add much-needed housing for students, faculty, staff, and the general community. Approximately 4,600 units could be added, really with great impact in terms of accessibility to these important constituencies. For the last 121 years, San Diego State University has built a reputation as an asset and good steward for the community, currently contributing $5.67 billion in economic impact to the region. Our site plan would increase the impact. The plan focuses on a commitment to open spaces that would further benefit families, regional organizations, and the community at large by integrating the site's natural features, particularly the San Diego River, to deliver a regional community asset with 75 acres of community parks and open spaces. The initiative you are considering today will provide the university with the opportunity to purchase the property and develop the site for these purposes, but most importantly for the future demands on SDSU to equip the binational and global workforce needed for the next 121 years. It will appear on the November ballot. More than 100,000 signatures were obtained. This is 30,000 signatures more than that were needed. The effort was made by the Friends of SDSU, who will continue to lead the campaign and voter information efforts. There is a competing ballot measure that is supported by Soccer City and FS Investors. In review of the two measures, the SDSU West Campus Research Center, Stadium, and River Park Initiative will provide the university greater control of the site development and greater assurance that a transparent planning process, including adherence to the requirements of CEQA will be utilized. The ballot initiative has, with the greatest number of affirmative votes, shall control in its entirety. I wanted to end because I received a letter from 3 former presidents, President Hirschman, President Rausch, and President Reber. And this is really the collective leadership of San Diego State University for the past 50 years who write and endorse this important project. And just one paragraph from their letter is the following. There is no question as to the significant value of higher education and the need to provide opportunities for students. There will always be competing demands on the necessary resources for a public university to continue to invest in its faculty, staff, and students. What is before you today is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for SDSU to continue to serve the students of the state of California through an innovative, vibrant, mixed-use, medium-density development that is transit-oriented and expands the university's educational, research, entrepreneurial, and technology transfer programs. I want to thank you for considering this particular initiative. Thank you, and I now will turn it to Steve.
Thank you, President Delatorre. This is an action item seeking the board's endorsement of the San Diego State West ballot initiative. We're happy to answer any questions.
Thank you for the presentation. Thank you, President De La Torre, to mention that this endorsement is intended to give us opportunities. And I want everybody to be clear that we would be endorsing a ballot initiative that has not yet passed before we would have an opportunity to talk about what would happen if it passes. That will, of course, be down the road. But the board will then have, if I'm correct, Steve, a number of different opportunities to intersect with this project as it develops and as the choices become clear.
Yes, Chair Eisen, you said it exactly correct, that what we're doing here today is endorsing a ballot initiative that, if it does pass, opens up the avenue for the City of San Diego and the campus to enter into negotiations. Anything beyond that in terms of actually acquiring the property or anything else having to do with that property will come back to the board.
Thank you so much. Additional comments? Chair Day?
Thank you, Chair Eisen. I just wanted to offer my thanks to the Chancellor and Executive Vice Chancellor Relier, as well as our Executive Vice Chancellor Annie Jones, for their hard work and efforts on this, working with President De La Torre and President Rausch before her. I think this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for this board to, while it is a little bit odd to take a position on a local land use initiative, it's not completely unprecedented, but nonetheless, I think it's almost a fiduciary obligation for this board when you have such a broad-based, wide-ranging coalition representing campus, former leadership, community, students, faculty, staff, environmental groups, business groups, community-based organizations, who all agree that this could be the single most important factor determining the future success of this campus. So, as odd as it may sound to us as trustees, that some people in San Diego don't know that SDSU is part of the CSU system, and they would like to know that the system's leadership stands with them. I get it on a daily basis, so I don't want to belabor that point with my colleagues, but I will assure you that I hear about this measure every single day, and it's unanimously in support of it. So I encourage my colleagues to support this measure. I think it's critical for San Diego State University and for the River Park and the community at large, and I appreciate that.
Thanks. Additional comments, questions? All right. The item endorsement of the City of San Diego ballot initiative is an action item before the Committee on Campus Planning, Buildings and Grounds. Only committee members may vote at this time. May I have a motion? Second? Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? One abstention noted. Thank you, Chair Day. That concludes the business of the Committee on Campus Planning, Buildings and Grounds.
Thank you, Chair Eisen. And we will